When I was 6 years old, I decided I wanted to play hockey, mainly because I came essentially from a hockey family. My dad ran the hockey league. He coached two of my older brothers. My mom ran the scoreboard. My sister kept a lot of the stats at the game. So pretty much every weekend we were at the hockey rink. And so I decided, well, if I'm there, I might as well join them. So I played for about 2 months, and I really decided I didn't like playing hockey. I wasn't very good at it either, but that wasn't really the point because I wasn't really good at baseball, and I still loved playing baseball. But then I decided I had to go tell my dad. And I be honest, I was a little scared because, again, we came from a real hockey family. My dad had played when he was a kid. His father had coached him. So, it was one of those things that I was like, I wasn't sure how my dad would react. So I finally got up the courage, went to my dad and said, Dad, I really don't want to play hockey. And his response was quick. Okay, no problem. And I was so relieved and I was so happy that I didn't have to play hockey anymore. And I remember talking to my dad years later about it, saying, how good it made me feel that he didn't mind I was going to play hockey. And he said to me, mind? I was ecstatic. I didn't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore to get you to the rink. I was really happy you didn't want to play. That was the point from my dad. He didn't support us in playing hockey because it was something he wanted. It was playing sports for him, for us, was always about if it was something we wanted to do. He was going to support us. And it was really, for him, about sort of discovering. Try things out. See if it works. See if it's something you're being called to. And he was going to support us as we sought to figure out sort of what made us happy. Well, the same is kind of true with God. God is there to support us, to help us to find what will make us happy. But we have to recognize sort of this fundamental truth that we don't actually know what's going to make us happy. God does, but we don't. In this day and age, there's so much about people really defining themselves, defining what will make them happy, defining how they want the world to see them. But that's not what leads to happiness. Now, sometimes it's trial and error, and God knows that. And God knows if we're really seeking that right path we're called to walk on, He's going to support us. He's going to help us. The real path to happiness, though, doesn't come from our deciding. The real path to happiness comes from opening our hearts to God. That path where God will show us who we really are. God will show us who He created us to be. God will help us to understand our gifts, our talents. God will help us to understand what will bring us to true fulfillment. God will help us to understand the person He created, which is why He understands better than we do what will bring us true joy, true peace, and true contentment. And the only way we can get there is not just simply trial and error. It really is about prayer. It's about opening our hearts. It's about that true sense of discernment, and it's about that willingness to listen to what it is God is trying to tell us. For it's only in discerning God's voice in our life that we'll really know the path we're called to walk and how we're called to walk it. And we're not all called to walk it the same way. Each of us are unique and different. Each of us have our own talents and gifts. And whatever those are, God will help us to find them and help us to discern how best to use them. But again, it comes down to a real prayer life. Not just something we kind of fit in when it's convenient, but truly setting time aside in each and every day of our lives to say, this time is for you, God. Let's have a real relationship. Help me to find myself. Help me to discover who you created me to be. Help me to stop being the person I've created and really to become that person you created. That is the full reality of who we're called to be. God has a plan for you, has a plan for me, and He has a way for us to live out that plan. Let us truly open to that reality, truly open to that truth. And let us come to truly know not simply the God who loves us, but by coming to know the God who loves us, let us come to truly discover ourselves. God bless.